Good morning and welcome back. We are continuing to look at those parts of the scripture that are unique to St. Matthew and the way that he helps former Jews to understand Jesus and the gospel. Today we are looking at the story of the 10 bridesmaids, a parable told by Jesus. You can find this in Matthew chapter 25, verses 1 to 13. On the Mount of Olives, Jesus was speaking privately to his disciples. Then again, I'm comparing the kingdom of the heavens to 10 young women who lit their oil lamps and set off to accompany the bridegroom to his wedding. 5 of them were foolish and 5 wise. What happened was this: the foolish ones lit their lamps but didn't take extra oil. The wise ones had brought full oil flasks with their lamps. Now, sadly, the bridegroom was delayed. So, waiting outside, they all dozed off. But when midnight came, someone shouted, "Look, the bridegroom's coming. Up you get to meet him." So they all got up and trimmed their wicks. The foolish ones asked the wise ones to give them some of their oil, because their lamps had run out. But the wise ones replied that maybe there wouldn't be enough to go round, and hadn't the foolish ones better go and wake up the oil seller and buy some for themselves? And while they were gone, the bridegroom arrived. Those who were prepared went in with him to the wedding feast. The door was shut. Later the others turned up. Standing outside, they called, "Sir, sir, let us in." But he replied, "No, who are you?" So keep watch, because you never know the day or the hour. You will remember that back on day 273, when we were learning how to use parables, we asked ourselves, who are we in this parable? Are we like the unprepared girls who have to get the oil seller out of bed in the middle of the night and then turn up too late? Or are we more like the sensible girls who got oil in their flasks ready to refill their lamps? This is another of Matthew's collection of parables in which Jesus warns his followers to be prepared. In Jewish tradition, there were plenty of stories that contrasted wisdom with folly. In this case, the wise have thought ahead, and the foolish hadn't even begun to think about the possibility until it was far too late. This is another parable that only comes to us in the pages of St. Matthew's Gospel, so we might well ask, what is special about this story? From the point of view of his readership, which was likely to have been largely of formerly Jewish origin, what had the Jewish population been through since the lifetime of Jesus for this warning to be prepared to have been of importance? Well, between the time of Jesus and the writing of this gospel, there had been a mass rebellion in Judea, and the Roman general and later Emperor Titus was left in charge of ending the insurrection. So in AD 70, he captured and destroyed Jerusalem and its temple and dispersed its inhabitants. The Arch of Titus in the Roman Forum commemorates the event to this day. It is entirely possible that any warning from Jesus about being prepared would have brought events like these to the minds of any new Christians who had formerly been Jews, but there is another theme here that might also have been in Matthew's mind, and that is the future return of Christ as the world's final judge, a theme we will return to in tomorrow's reading. Jesus is referred to as the church's bridegroom in the book of Revelation, which I spoke about on day 206. As bridegroom, of course, he loves and ennobles his bride. But those who arrive unprepared at the wedding will remain in outer darkness. So this second interpretation extends the need for preparedness from just being ready for dangerous people like Titus to a more general readiness for the coming of the Lord in power and great glory. So tomorrow we will take a look at St. Matthew's unique take on Judgment Day, and I'll see you then.